Hey guys, first and foremost, thank you for logging in and checking out this new video. Part of the data from the SD cards or the memory cards that I've been putting into this GoPro, a couple files were actually corrupted. So the instance where I actually go and show you how to do a boost leak test, all that data is corrupted. A couple other little odds and ends here and there, so if the video kind of skips around, doesn't make sense. Mainly because that data was corrupted and I wanted to use it. I apologize. I appreciate you guys staying this far into the video. Thank you again for checking it out, and let's get into it. All right, for those of you that are new to tuning a new setup on your car, you need a boost leak tester. I got this one off Amazon, turbo boost leak testers. It's about 65 bucks. Billet 3-inch cap, area for you to plug into your compressor and then a gauge with water inside of it to give an accurate reading. Goes up to 30 pounds. We'll probably be doing 30 psi. So this is essential to find any type of leaks, whether they be on a coupler, piping, intercooler, blow-off valve, throttle body seals, anything like that. This is a pretty big essential part of it. I'm gonna be jacking the car up shortly, but in order for us to do a exhaust leak test, you get a shop vac, and then you duct tape around here. Duct tape it shut, and then you turn it on, you blow air, take some soapy water when your exhaust is not hot, and you throw it around all the connections where it could potentially leak from. Kind of like a boost leak test, but an exhaust leak test. I apologize too, because everything's done at night, but I had some other errands I need to do. Car's jacked up, it's on jacks. We have the vacuum over here. Everything's taped off. So I just want it just taped. We're gonna turn that guy on, and then we're gonna go around the car, and we're gonna be spraying air, obviously from the vacuum, and we're gonna see if we have any exhaust leaks. That's why you do an exhaust leak test. The bonuses of tuning is making sure that everything is nice and tight after going through and making sure that it was already nice and tight, just to find out that there were a bunch of leaks, not just leaks from up here, but here, downpipe, damn near all the way back. So I'm going back through and I'm putting orange RTV on, and we're gonna fix it all up and hopefully get rid of all these leaks. I also have to reroute my oil return line down there. So I'm waiting on a 90 from the turbo. Probably gonna do the 45 from there. So doing V-band stuff by yourself is kind of a pain in the dick. It's kind of nice to just have two bolts and just throw a bolt through and it'll stay up. Get a nut started and then you can let it be. Had to put that one up in order to get that one on the downpipe, and now I'm going to go for the one on the manifold. If you can see it, I used some orange RTV to seal everything. Maybe it will kill, but I don't want it to leak any more than it already has, and I'd like to have a running car. Ran into a couple tuning issues. Believe it's the O2 sensor. I just got another one in the mail, just to do a quick swap, see if that's it. But definitely leading me towards the believing it's the O2 sensor. One day it was working fine, and the next it's just reading the 3 dashes of death. So we're gonna swap that out and see what it does on the laptop and go from there. So this is the part number 17025, OEM sensor from AA Ignition. Mainly because lifetime warranty. For the price of 2 of these, you can actually still have money left over instead of buying an AEM one. So this is what I'm using for my setup. So when one goes out, I can just send that one out, get a new one, and then I'm still keeping the car going for a daily. The AEM ones and the Bosch and Bosch, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, I haven't had all that great experience with them, and for the price that I'm paying for those widebands, and they have the potential to go out with no warranty, I'll take my gamble on a $40 one and then just buy 2 of them. This is the old one. Pretty black, but I'm okay with it. So I get to go send this back and get another one. So I'll have one on standby for when that one eventually goes out. So this is the 4.9. That's what my gauge uses. So just a quick, easy replacement. Also, obviously, I am going to be contacting these guys about their warranty. If they decide not to warranty it, I won't put it in the description box if they decide to warranty it. Sweet. The O2 is reading right now. At least this guy is reading now. I don't think the idle's moving around too much. It's like 3 o'clock on the 23rd, so right before Christmas. I'm gonna let it get up to temp, but later tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna change the spark plugs, and then I'm gonna do a boost leak test and another exhaust leak test, just to make absolutely sure that this thing is running the way that it's supposed to. So that way when I send logs to my tuner, we can make correct corrections and not correct something that is bad, potentially fixing that down the road, and then everything's off again. It's been 2-3 months since I've actually changed them, but since I've been running 30 pounds on the FP Red setup, I think it's a good idea just for cheap insurance, just to change them out, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, get a nice clean burn. And pretty simple on the coil unplug setups. Just take off these 2 little Allen bolts, unplug these 2 right here, thing pops off. Spark plugs I'm using are the BR8 ESs. These are the copper ones, 5422. I change them out about every oil change. They're really cheap to swap out. It's not that hard. I mean, especially with the coil unplug setups, it is not that hard. I gap these to about a 0.020, and I use a gauge for that. Got something like that. The STM spark plug gapping tool. So I just use that in combination, and every time works out awesome. So I always check my coil packs on the inside to make sure that they are okay. Right over here, looks like there's something in front of the spring right there, like a little piece of rubber. So we're gonna get that one out. Everything's back on, everything's back and attached. So this guy is still leaking, even though it's stupid tight. So it's still leaking, so I'm going to take that off and try to put on another one. I'm going to wait till it's all dry, and then I'm going to try to throw on this one that I tried to throw on last time, but it just didn't want to really fit, which I was kind of bummed out about. So then I had to use the old one, and I guess maybe the old one's just not quite doing it. So I'm going to try to get rid of all the old copper RTV out of this one, and then hopefully it'll keep it from leaking. Manifold's back on. it is not gonna leak anymore. I'm tired of messing with this V-band stuff. It's starting to get fairly annoying to me. Clamps that I've been getting haven't really been working. This one's a little bit smaller, but it's gonna work, and that's what I care about. So now that that's back on, we're gonna change the coupler right here. This is 2 3/4. We're gonna change it up to a 2 1/2, and then we're gonna do a boost leak test. So my little secret when I'm doing couplers, so I use extra firm hairspray. Spray it on the intercooler piping, and then when I put it in the coupler, just gives it an extra little seal. It's not hard to take back off. It doesn't make it any harder, whatever you want to call it. Just seals it up a little bit better, just less potential for boost leaks. So I usually do that on all my piping. Just a little tip. No leaks. There were no leaks up there. Nothing like that. So gonna start logging the car. Merry Christmas. Good morning, everybody. It's the 25th of December. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Everything's checked out. Gonna go drive the car around a little bit, see if it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, make sure there's no actual leaks. For the manifold, I'm gonna have to drive around, let that heat up, and figure out what it wants to do. I'm tired of it not wanting to seal properly. I'm sure it has something to do with the V-band clamps. I'm not too worried about it. So I just use some RTV. Got some RTV up there too. It'll burn off and it'll do what it's supposed to do, hopefully. So that way we can actually start tuning, because if there's leaks, tuning is gonna be a bit of a bitch. New coupler is on, so 2 1/2 with a 45-degree bend. So there should be no boost leaks. There should be no exhaust leaks. But not gonna know until we drive the car. So let's start her up and let's drive it. Did some logs, just waiting to hear back from the tuner now. The blow-off valve was leaking when I was letting off on the throttle, and what that ended up being was the tile white spring. It needs to be hard enough spring for you to have you keep your vacuum and whatnot. So I went with a yellow spring, one of the yellow springs, swapped it out. You definitely want to put some pressure while you're doing that. Or if you need to find the edge of a countertop, use a little trigger clamp, keep it down while you're swapping them out. I tighten them, I guess the same way I would like a drum set, for those of you that are familiar with drums. So I tighten this, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just go around again and make sure it's really tight. I'm gonna throw on the fitting, throw it back on the car, and see what it does. Sent a couple logs back to the tuner. It was leak free. So the only thing we messed with was just opening up the throttle body a little bit, just by a 1/4 turn. With these S90 throttle bodies, you're able to really open up everything without messing with the TPS, which is great. I'm gonna load on the new tune and we're gonna go around and do some logs. So we got a new log from the tuner. We double checked to make sure that we didn't have any leaks. It was a very small, minute leak from the manifold to turbo still. I've been trying to catch this motherfucker for a long time, and it's just not wanting to seem to work. So I'm gonna contact Precision, see if I can get another one, another like V-band clamp or something, because it just, again, it's just not working. that being said, we're doing a longer log now, and so it's gonna be a 20-minute log from cold start, you know, up to operating temp, and then we're gonna be driving around, just do some daily stuff. So again, this is just part of the tuning stuff, you know. It takes time, and you know, with what we got going on, you know, I'm gonna be as patient as I possibly can with it. My tuner knows what he's doing. I'm very I trust in my tuner, and if you're gonna be tuning your car, that's the best advice I can give you is trust your tuner, because if you don't trust your tuner, then why are you letting them tune your car? So we just did some more logs. Just did that 25-minute log. We don't have the O2 feedback on just quite yet, just making sure that everything is solid in the map before turning it on, and then from there we'll be able to start doing boost tests or boost logs. So far seems to be doing really well. I've been getting into a little bit of boost. I've been just, you know, like a hawk on my AFR gauge, you know, it's still reading, you know, rich, and it goes richer when it starts to hit boost, which is good. I wanted to start doing that. It's a beautiful day out here. Looks like some snow's about to be coming in. Let's get back home and send that log back. I hope you can hear me, but we just got another tune sent to us from the tuner. So now we're gonna do a pull from 25 miles an hour all the way up to 5 or 6 grand. Just gonna keep an eye on the AFR gauge. We're just gonna see. Well, we're gonna hopefully not send a rod, so we'll see what happens. Did a pull yesterday, scared the ever-loving shit out of me. Trying to find a nice open road, one that doesn't have too much traffic coming through it. That Evo turn radius. Okay, so we're going. Pressure, so hoping it wasn't hurting. So I may have to rewire it, but it's not doing what I'm wanting it to do. So I'm gonna do more research with the tuner, get it going, and go from there. So the scariest part about tuning is making sure you don't blow up. It's always possible, even with the best tuner. First off, Happy New Year. I went out and raged my face off, and it started snowing here pretty good, so I couldn't really do any tuning on the 1st, but it's now the 2nd of January, and me and my tuner are trying to figure out why the electronic boost controller is not doing what we're telling it to do. So what I've done is rerouted the lines just to the lower over here, and then just tied it in from the intake manifold and the blow-off valve back over here, so it'll read pressure from the intake manifold. Probably gonna end up going with a manual boost controller. I'm gonna tidy everything up, make sure we have enough oil, put on the bumper, and we're gonna go take it for a spin. PSI, so it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing at all. Let's see what that log says. Yep, so our peak was 29.3 at 7,000 RPMs. So something funky's going on. I'm gonna have to look into it. I'm pretty sure I put in the right springs, so it's a little weird to me that that's what's going on with it, but that's the crazy part of tuning. Finding out what you put back together right and what you didn't. So after playing around with the wastegate springs, decided to go from 20 PSI to 17. So we'll see what that does. We're about to go for a little drive. Gonna do some more logging, see if we can figure out what's going on. Alright, I'm gonna do my best to give you guys a little POV with what's gonna be happening. I'm gonna do my best, but we're gonna try to get you guys like a little pull. I'm doing this one-handed, so not exactly the safest. About 21 PSI. Oh man, my heart's flying right now. So we did not hit 20 PSI. The first little poll that I did, according to this log, this first log was 25 pounds. The other log, the one I did shortly after this one, 28.7. So I'm still running into the issue because I just put a 17-pound combination of springs inside the tile, but it's still wanting to overboost by quite a bit, more than 10 PSI, so that's kind of a problem. I'm going to talk with my tuner, see if we need to reroute it, maybe go from the compressor housing to the wastegate, and maybe go from there. But so far, yeah, this is kind of a pain in the ass right now. So it's January 4th now. We've rerouted some lines just from the compressor housing to the wastegate, and then intake manifold to the blow-off valve. So what I'm going to go do now is go and make sure that you know, car's doing what it's supposed to be doing. We're gonna go do another pull. It looks like I also need gas too, so stop, get some gas, and then take out for a spin. Alright, we're gonna start the log down my favorite back road. Compressor housing to the wastegate. There's a straight shot. Here goes nothing. Damn, it is still wanting to go. Like, it still went all the way to 30. Damn it. Just kept rising and rising and rising, man. I appreciate you guys, you know, checking out the channel. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. I'm hoping that the next video is, you know, this car making, you know, a lot of power on 30 pounds on pump, and you know, making all the sauce. But hopefully it's not where I show that the Evo became a 5-cylinder with a rod that decided to shoot up.